Welcome to our channel Scary Sagas, where we bring you the most terrifying true horror stories. Today, we have 3 bone-chilling stories that will make your blood run cold. These stories are based on real events and have been passed down among the people. Are you ready to hear the ghastly ghosts and demonic spirits that still roam the deserted halls and paths? There was a myth that Oxford, Ohio, was one of the nation's most haunted cities when Brad Cope attended Miami University there. Cope couldn't wait to write about a few of the region's most well-known ghosts when he founded an on-campus magazine. However, not long after his narrative was out, he discovered that he was frequently thinking about a specific ghost, the spirit of Oxford Milford Road. According to the legend, there was a young guy pursuing a young woman in a remote area of the town many years ago, most likely in the 1940s. He visited every night after dark because the woman's parents disapproved of the relationship. The girl would slip out of her farmhouse after her parents had gone to bed and flash the car's lights 3 times. Then her young suitor would speed off on his motorbike. One night he turned too sharply right before her house, claims Cole. He traveled in the opposite direction from the motorbike. He was unable to live because of the severity of his wounds. However, there is a rumor that his smitten spirit still prowls this section of Milford Road. Curious, Cope, his then-girlfriend, and a buddy made the decision to go there one night to see if they could confirm the story. They are now married. His partner was concerned that she would go into total shock. "She has more faith in that thing than I do," Cope remarks. But his main worry was that his suspicions that none of this was truly true would be proven to be correct. Cope had thought that night as he drove by the deserted property, and he pitched it to his fiancée. How could she say no? She resisted, but eventually gave up, and Cope turned a little distance into the farmhouse road. He turned off the engine and made 3 bright flashes. No kidding, Cope claims that a single spotlight could be seen 3/4 of a mile down the road. You noticed it begin to approach, moving quite slowly. It never stopped coming. My wife was in a panic. It was getting nearer and nearer. Cope activated his car's lights as a collision appeared near. He anticipated seeing a young person on a bike, abandoning his joke now that he had been discovered. However, nothing is present. Simply put, the light is gone, he claims. They exited the vehicle. They moved around, attempting to identify what they could have seen. "We still speak about it now," he claims. "I saw something I cannot describe." He and his wife will fervently swear that the tale is real if you manage to gather them around a campfire. And if you ever visit Oxford, Ohio, think about stopping to park briefly on Oxford Milford Road after dark to see how brave you are. Doug Gavirio grew up on his parents' expansive dude ranch, the Flathead Lake Lodge, in rural Montana as one of 8 sons. Gavirio lads were rowdy as teenagers. He recalls, "We rode around as a small band of cowboys. They would get up and ride off to check livestock on the 3 enormous pieces of property the family was in charge of, which formed a triangle around some of the most isolated rangelands in the state. During a summer in the 1960s, the brothers encountered a horrifying sight. 3 dead cows were neatly arranged in a circle on the ground. Their reproductive organs had been removed. However, there were no evident scars to be seen, but no blood ever appeared." Gavirio recalls that it was almost like a surgical removal. America was preoccupied with aliens during this time period, and local newspaper articles suggested that possibly extraterrestrials were responsible for this. People speculated that reproductive organs had been abducted by aliens for experimentation. But one day, a lance unexpectedly appeared in Ariel and his comrades' way. It had a mysterious note with a frightening warning attached to it. We realized that it must be humans doing this at that point, he claims. Then, things started to seem quite odd. The following several days saw a number of peculiar things happen. The brothers left their horses in the back of a stock truck and first stopped at a nearby tavern to get hamburgers. The Averials were only gone for a short while, and the horses were crammed in closely. When they returned, the horse that had been jammed into the trek center had magically disappeared, showing no indications of a struggle. He explains, "We didn't know how they could have unloaded the horse without emptying the others." The following day, a new wrangler on the ranch suffered serious injuries after falling from his horse. Despite traveling together, none of the other crew members noticed the collision. "It was the strangest thing," recalls Averial. "The individual suffered injuries that rendered him permanently incapacitated. The last horrible incident finally took place. A retired camp chef arrived to greet the brothers and take them riding for the day. But when he got there, his standard Trek tailgate, which had been present when he loaded up, had mysteriously vanished. Who knows how long his horse, Betsy, had been dragged behind the truck after falling out. She had to be put down right away. To be very honest, seeing what had happened to Betsy killed him. We probably ought to have killed him, too," Averial recalls. He recalls that the three occurrences were just boom, 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 three things in a sequence that were so bizarre, all related together because they were immediately following the sighting of the spear. Like the three dead cows that were left in a circle. Three things. Around the campfire, Averial would frequently recount the events of that summer. But as time went on, he was given other stories, so they were taken out of the running. They are also very gloomy. However, he just received a call regarding a downed bull buffalo. It was located in a secluded area of his ranch. 16 wolves in a pack. Normally, wolves don't bother buffalo, but a neighbor had spotted 16 of them. Well, maybe a reason. He went to look into it. The bull was there, sprawled out in a field blanketed with snow. On its carcass, however, there were no teeth marks, gashes, or gunshot holes. Stranger still, birds and scavenger animals had not touched it. Not even the buzzards, he claims, which is really rare. Its reproductive organs were missing. Therefore, that was something else wrong. And not a single footprint could be seen anywhere along the mile-long trek into the property from the nearest road or in the snow around it. When you ask Averial if he believes he is working with people or aliens, he will reply that he is 99% certain it is humans. He continues, "But I prefer it was aliens. Given what humans were capable of after that summer in the 1960s, he would choose aliens over humans any day." The tale of La Llorona, or the Weeping Woman, is told in various forms all across Latin America. She occasionally misplaced her hubby. She occasionally misplaced her children. Sometimes both apply. However, the crying lady at La Parva, a ski resort in the Chilean Andes, goes by the name Lola, and everyone there claims they knew her before she passed away. Pro skier Drew Tabb claims a local restaurant owner stated he dated her, adding that the ski patroller he got the story from was stationed at the exact hut where this incident took place. Beginning on a pleasant day during prime ski season, Lola intended to spend the day skiing with her small son. As is sometimes the case in the Andes, a dense fog crept up from the valley, which frequently heralds the approach of a true storm. As they descended from the peak of the mountain, The two were engulfed by the clouds, and they lost sight of one another, according to Tap. Lola hurried into the dense fog yelling her son's name, desperate to find him. She tripped down a steep hill and started to slide down a rocky couloir. However, since she was unable to see well, a local lift operator accidentally discovered her corpse while heading back to his cabin. A closer look revealed that she was still alive, albeit barely, despite his first fears that she had passed away. According to Tap, her body was covered in cuts caused by jagged rocks, and she said just one word in the quietest whisper that was the name of her son. Her body was gently brought to his cabin, which was only up the hill, by the lift operator. He attempted to heal her wounds before rushing to call the doctor. The fog was heavy in the air as the doctor and lift operator made their way back to the doctor's cabin. But the bed was vacant when they got there. There were just the bloodied sheets left. Hap claims that neither the mother or her son was ever located. The lift operator's cabin is where the villagers claim to always hear her wailing for her kid. The fact is that Tag doesn't think ghosts exist. But every winter when he travels to Chile, something is different. Perhaps it's the fact that you can look up to the Incan child sacrifice site Cerro El Plomo from La Parva. Perhaps this is the case because Tab has read so many works of magical realism by authors like Juan Rulfo and Gabriel Garcia Marquez. However, he claims that occasionally he just can't tell if what he hears is a lady or the wind while alone in his cabin in the Andes with the wind howling and the lamps flickering. They seem to like that these stories will leave you with more questions than answers. They are a reminder that sometimes the truth is much darker and more mysterious than we ever imagined. Join us next time on Scary Sagas for other spine-chilling true stories.